Major from Comic Book Cannon. All right, full disclosure. Yes, last week was Father's Day weekend. We did take off. We enjoyed. However, I was also on a work trip. That's why I was on the other side of the world in a place called France. It's a country. Doing work, my other job, because I mean the Canon pays me so much money. I have a side hustle as well, just because I enjoy it. But yeah, so that's where I was. We missed you all. We love you all. We saw all your messages. With that being said, though, there's a caveat here. I am flipping exhausted. I didn't swear. Usually I'll swear. Still trying to get back on U.S. time, but happy to be back here. Happy to be back with my good friend, partner in crime, and co-host of the show, Joseph. French bread.
Sorry, I was practicing my French there, which I know absolutely none of.
It's a tough language, no doubt about that. And luckily it's an English-speaking country as well. I don't want to. I always feel like I'm fronting when they're like bonjour when you walk into a store, and then it's like I'm like, hey, what's up? Because I don't want to feel like I'm faking it, which I actually am. Yeah, sure. I want them to hear the real me, so I appreciate them for allowing to listen to the real me. That's what I'll say. But speaking of real people, tonight. Oh, actually, yeah. So this is an abbreviated show, right? Because I'm tired and it's all about me. Is that right, Joe?
Yes, pretty much.
Pretty much. So that being said, we brought in a special guest co-host who has already run through the gamut of the interview, so he's allowed back. He is allowed back. He's an alumnus. He actually is excited to be here, and we're excited to have him. Mike, a.k.a. Pope of Chillytown. Bonjour!
Yo! What's up, guys?
Happy to have you here. We're just chilling out on a Sunday night like we do quite a bit. Except for
to be here on the second best episode of Comic Book Canon ever.
Yeah, right. What was the first? Can you enlighten us?
It was, I feel like it was a couple months ago. I know it was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I was on it. It's weird that I was around for the two best episodes of Comic Book Canon. I'm not sure what the common denominator is, but
but we do know for a fact that you were on that episode, you're on this episode, and they were an episode of Comic Book Canon. They were the best of all time. Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure it out either. So
just luck.
I think it has something to do with the tides
and the moon.
Well, the moon is the tides.
Okay. But yeah, something like that. Again, I'm a little bit off. I'm not as funny as I usually am, and I'm very self-conscious about that. Don't do that, Mike. So anyway, so what we have today, we're going to be doing one segment only. It's one that you do know and love. We got a lot to catch up on because the month of June is ending, guys. In a week, less than a week.
Yeah.
And that being said, I'm getting all these notifications from my computer now that I'm back from France. Leave me alone, bro. With that being said, let's just remind everybody what book we're giving away in June. It's this amazing Green Hour #1 David Nakayama cover from EGS for our Fresh from the Comic Shop segment. We will be picking our last semifinalist of June tonight. And we'll have our second semifinals going on this Wednesday. So I'm very excited about that. I do love this cover. This is one of my favorites from EGS. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like how it gives the impression of a negative space cover, even though it really isn't. Just that green background is super cool. And like, I feel like if you kind of squint a little bit, you can just see like, you know, his face and his arms and his pants.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like come into focus. And you see the whole thing, and I love that.
And putting it all together is that beautiful EGS case with that beautiful custom label that EGS is well known for. Again, they are our sponsor, good old friend Tony Trombetta, who is here in the chat. He sponsors, him and EGS sponsor this amazing segment called Fresh from the Comic Shop, which is all we're going to be doing tonight, people. That's it. We really didn't get our are fun tagging though. I can't remember the segment. What's the segment called, guys?
Fresh
From
the
comic
shop.
Yeah, fly from the pressing salon. We ask each one of you each and every week to send in your fresh gets. You never disappoint. Through the Instagram, tagging FFTCS and making sure to tagging us as well, because they did it with the algorithms again, guys. The algorithms on the Instagrams are making it even more difficult to try and find your work. But please continue to post. Please continue to tag Comic Book Canon, Jernos, 360, and why not Pope of Chili Town? You may as well, because he's tight with all of us. You know what I mean?
He told me he loves notifications. They really jive him up. He sees notifications on his phone and he thinks he has friends, so it gives him a little boost.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he does have friends. He's good friends with one particular new member of the community, Chet G-Pod. I do know that for a fact. They've had breakfast together. A large breakfast, I do believe. Yeah, with that being said, why don't we just get into it? Oh, before we do, let's just again remind that Freshman Comic Shop is sponsored by EGS Grading Services. EGS is like, never mind. I'm being redundant. What makes this company so unique is the custom labels, and I love them for it. But also, they don't really push this narrative here. Not that's a narrative, but like they don't push the design of their new case, which I love holding it in my hands better than a CGC book or a CBCS. So you all should be checking that out. Free graders, those fast turnaround times. You'll get 5% off using Canon 5. So go check them out, please. And we'll have a new book for July. I guess we'll have that reveal next week, guys. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think we should just get right into it. Again, I think there were no comic book shops near me, so I think what?
Listen, I know we're doing an abbreviated show, but are you really going to abbreviate it so much that you don't say hi to the members of our wonderful community that are in here in the live chat right now?
I'm an absolute dick, and y'all can call me that.
This guy goes to France, and he comes back as more arrogant than the
French. Anyways, we got Josh's Comics in the house. Fapped in America. It has been a while because I love saying your name. Jordan Nori. And, of course, the man, the legend, Dan De La Torre. Tony Trombetta, as I said, is in the house with EGS. Movie Fan 91 comic book chat time. Evening, guys. Evening to you as well. Caitlin Charette is here as well. And Gary's Comics and Movies. I'll tell you what, guys. We only have 10 million people in today, and I think it's my fault because I created the link literally like an hour and a half ago, and I forgot I didn't do that. God, I am awful. I am awful. You guys can hate me. So not many people know we have a show, but we are happy all you people are here. That's a fact, right? Oh, by the way, let's just touch upon this before we get into it. There is an elephant in the room being hunted by a certain character from Marvel. However, Sony seems to be thinking that this is going to be the next big thing, and that elephant is just
it's something. It's something.
I'm going to say it right now. I don't know if you guys have a problem with me going first, but I watched that hot piece of trash. That was like usually trailers, even if the movie's terrible, there's an art to making trailer, sure, right? To bring you in. I thought Morbius was going to be incredible with that trailer.
The trailer looked great.
The trailer, yeah. I think there were a couple trailers. This was awful. This was an absolute disaster. This is terrible. Go ahead. I've said enough.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I watched the trailer, and a couple things really stood out to me. The scene where he's kind of laying on his back in the middle of the woods, and all the spiders are coming down. I was like, whoa, cool imagery there. Amazing. There's the very quick flash of a scene where he's in his very comic accurate costume, and he's got the staff next to him, or the spear or whatever it is, and he's got the fur vest on, and that's just only a flash. Thought that was cool. The action itself looks intriguing action wise, but I have no freaking clue what that movie is about from the trailer. It did not tell a story. It did not make me want to learn more. And you know,
why? Yeah, like why have you made this movie?
Right, and the you know the at the end of the trailer when we see Rhino, or we see this like cameo appearance of Rhino, we don't see that character anywhere in the trailer. Is he just thrown into the movie because they have the rights to him? That would suck, because last time we had Rhino in a movie, it was not so great. And I would love to see a good rendition. So, you know, as we always say here, we want these movies to do good. I will certainly be seeing this movie in theaters. I don't have high hopes for it.
I think, you know, I think we are going to get just that with the way they were showing the hand and everything, and the suit sort of like growing onto the hand or whatever. I think we will get a comic accurate look, at least. I think we are going to get a cool looking Rhino. The gist I get of it is that there was a scene, there's a little flash of a scene where he, like, after he kills someone, he kind of scratches somebody off his list. Like, he has a list of names. Yeah. So I get the feeling just from some of the voiceover that they use in that little moment that he's like, he's hunting down his dad's associates or something. Because he says something in the trailer about, I don't know. He says something in the trailer that led me to believe that he's like this. They're making him an anti-hero, right?
Yes.
So he's not going to be like the bad guy or whatever. He hunts bad guys. So they're doing a Dexter or whatever on him.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that he's more Animal Man than Kraven, because they talk about him being able to tap into like animals' abilities and stuff like that. The trailer is definitely what I would call peak Sony. Like, it just feels like a Sony movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long origin, and it's going to be, I don't know, kind of a movie that no one knew that they wanted, and it's going to turn out it isn't going to be what they wanted. And I don't know. Where my head's at is that it's probably going to be a spectacular failure. There'll probably be some good stuff about it, but it's probably going to fit in very well with like the Venoms and the Morbiuses of the world.
Which, again, they're making another Venom.
Hold on. Venom 1 was a solid movie. It was watchable.
Passable. Yeah. Venom 2 was garbage.
Yes.
Morbius was okay. Not as good as Venom 1. But this, it's awful. Like, again, Josh said, so if my blood mixes with any animal, I have features of that. Like, seriously. How easy is this?
Maybe it's a radioactive lion.
I have a feeling, because they're Russian, right? This is going to be some lion from Chernobyl. That's not a joke. I have a feeling it's going to be a lion like around Chernobyl or something that's been irradiated. And
are there lions around Chernobyl? I don't think the climate can support lions. It's Chernobyl. It's like Russia. It's cold.
They've got like hyenas and stuff.
My TV was turned on. Siri was just listening to me upstairs. Anyways, I don't understand it. And by the way, again, if y'all are just joining us, this is a very abbreviated show. We're just going to be doing Fresh from the Comic Shop. We're just, again, spitballing here about the Kraven trailer. Yeah, there's another elephant in the room, I guess. What do you guys think of the Flash bombing at the box office? It's both good, streaming and physical, a lot sooner, and bad. Theaters are losing money. I don't know what to think of it. I'm shocked, to be honest with you. I am absolutely shocked with all of the hype. I have no understanding as to why we're here. I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to see it this week. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm really surprised it's not doing well. But at the same time, like, both Mike and I saw it in a pre-show, a free pre-show a few weeks ago. And I know like actually dozens of people who saw it early for free.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know dozens of people, I have to think that thousands and thousands of people got that opportunity and maybe then didn't see it in theaters and pay the money for it.
A few thousand people seeing the movie early is not going to factor into the box office like it has. So they haven't even made up their marketing budget yet.
Wow.
150. You need $150 million to make up your marketing on that. So again, it's definitely disappointing because we want these movies to do well, but again, maybe we're all ripping the Band-Aid off now with the DCEU to enter in the DCU with James Gunn and his Superman film. So
yeah, ultimately it's a lame duck movie, just like Aquaman 2 and maybe Blue Beetle. We're not sure about that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We have Blue Beetle and Aquaman. Yeah,
yeah. There might be some semblance of maybe people were like, you know what. This isn't going to carry over. They're not going to set anything up for the Gunverse.
Good point.
And maybe, but Jeff, the funny thing is, you said you haven't seen it. You've already seen it, because my big criticism of this movie is that everything is in the trailers. You are going to have very few surprises. If you've seen all the trailers, and I try to avoid trailers. I really, really do. Like, I always try to watch the first one, make sure, like, get my head around, like, is this something that looks cool? Then I really try to avoid stuff unless it's kind of forced on me. Like, you go to the movies and you see the trailers. So I did end up seeing all the trailers before the movie, and there are very few surprises in that movie if you've seen the trailers.
Okay, that's unfortunate to hear, but I really like your point about, like, most of the fans know that this is all getting reset with James Gunn coming in. So it's like, what's the point? So again, unfortunate. Everybody was super psyched, super hyped to hear about it. We want these films to do well. We don't want to continue to hear about superhero fatigue. Maybe it is a real thing. I don't know. I do know Marvel is starting to, kind of produce less and less.
Yeah.
At this point, I do think less is more. But the way we got here is pandemic hit. All of these projects are kind of bottlenecked. Boom, when things are safe to go to the theaters, they release the Hounds, and you know what I mean? Then we got all this deluge of content because we were super thirsty. Now it's hitting us from all sides. I don't know. Anyways, that's my take.
I'll say this. I really enjoyed The Flash. Both James and he just saw it yesterday, and we had a good conversation about it. And we're both on board with it being a solid 7 out of 10 movie that could have improved had the CGI been better. I will go off what Mike said. I think that they could have made the movie absolutely incredible. They could have made it so much better by just keeping Supergirl out of the trailer. If you didn't know that Supergirl was going to be in that movie, and but everyone knew it, obviously, because the trailer and the posters. If you didn't know she was going to be in that movie, that would have been a phenomenal.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Surprise.
Yeah.
That being said, the movie was not spoiled, but it was a lot was given away. A lot of the what could have been big surprises were given away in the trailer. Solid 7 out of 10 movie, in my opinion.
If you guys, we've been talking a lot about trailers and stuff a little bit here and there. If you guys remember, this is just one of my favorite kind of movie stories. If you guys remember Terminator 2 and the trailer for Terminator 2 sort of gives away the fact that, Arnold is kind of the good guy in that movie. If you watch that movie, and just sort of track the story and how it's how the story progresses from the beginning to the point where they reveal that Arnold is the friendly Terminator. That was something that really shouldn't have been given away in the trailer. Like, that was meant to be a big surprise at the end of that first act, where Arnold, because he's like, it makes it look like he's hunting the kid, and the cop is like the Michael Biehn version in Terminator 2, when really we don't know he's a Terminator until that moment. It's just like, watch that trailer, watch that movie again, you'll realize we all got totally hosed. There would have been an amazing surprise 30 minutes into that movie if we didn't know that Arnold was the good guy. That
was a gigantic blockbuster hit, though. You know what I mean? That didn't prevent people from going to check out that film.
No, I'm just bringing it up as an interesting kind of trailer story. That's all.
It's a good point, though. It's a very, very good point. But again, abbreviated show. We don't really have a news segment. We just kind of got into it casually here. But I think, guys, let's just get into the comic books, the fresh gets, shall we?
Oh yeah, we got some good ones.
That's what they say in French. That's French talk for yes.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. All right, we're going to start off. Again, this is the book we're giving away, or EGS is kindly giving to us to give away. This beautiful, beautiful cover that David Nakayama variant, Green Arrow #1. Look at this beautiful custom label up at the top. We love it. And as we all will remind you, we have Raising Elm is a finalist from earlier in June. As you can see, his Guardians of the Galaxy submission up at the top there. And we did pick a semifinalist from last week that will go up against today's semifinalist. It's a good one, guys. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
That's who I'm confused here. No. Super Crispy or Union Josh. This was the semifinalist pick. We had to pick one that goes up against Union Josh, which we'll have go Wednesday. We'll have the finals done by the end of the week. And it's Super Crispy Comics. As he says, dude, just had to share this Miles Morales book at the cover. Look at the cover. The picture doesn't do it justice. But yeah, here's my fresh from the comic shop this week for sure. This is chaotic beauty to me. This cover is outstanding. I mean, how gorgeous is that?
Who did that cover? Do you know?
He doesn't say, but I have not seen that cover before. And it's going to be going up. We got Miles against Miles, guys. I love it. Absolutely love it. It is that time of year, though. It is that time of year.
So those two are the last ones of June. So the one that we picked tonight as the winner will actually be the first for July.
July. That's my bad. Again, blame it on the jet lag, can we? Or
I'll blame it on the baguettes.
The baguettes.
You ate so many baguettes. I know.
They were, dude. I'm not kidding. My belly gained an inch or two. All right, moving on. We got to start off the week. Son of Comics. Son of Comics. Where are you? There you are. Harley Quinn 25, the Kale New Spawn variant cover. I'm adding a signature copy of this dope AF cover. Y'all know what that means. By Cal New. You have to love this art by Cal New. He put that in 3 times, but that's cool. It's gorgeous. And I don't know anything about this variant, how Spawn and Harley, what the history is about this variant, because obviously this is not in the story. So that is kind of a unique cover, I'd have to say.
Very cool.
Mike, what do you got as your first fresh get?
First up, a pair of books. I met a guy at a flea market a few weeks ago, and got to chatting and blah blah blah. And he's a big toy guy, and he's like, I get comics in from time to time though, and he's like, I don't mind selling them basically at a way where you can make some money if you want, and I get them out of my life, and I get a little money and blah blah blah. So he told me to come meet him, and that he had a stack of some Golden Age books and some Silver Age and some other stuff. And so I bought the stack off of him, and these were 2 that I thought were really kind of interesting in that bundle. So the first was this really cool Dell Frankenstein.
Oh, Joe is all over that too, I bet.
That's so cool.
Check that out.
Very cool.
Yeah. Now this is actually a second printing. This was printed twice, and what was interesting is they put it right there on the cover. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. I don't know if that was a Dell thing for a while. See, second printing. So this is very cool, and then to go along with that was a really, really nice highish grade copy of Gold Key Dark Shadows #1.
Yeah.
First Dark Shadows in comics. This is actually a surprisingly valuable book, and a book that people seem to go after. A 7.0 of this just sold for $200. This is a really nice copy. A couple spine ticks, a little dog ear down here. It's probably better than a 7.0. But it's just, sometimes you come across something that what I call like a dusty old IP. You wonder how many people out there, remember Dark Shadows and stuff. But
there was a Dark Shadows. There was a Dark Shadow movie a couple years ago.
There was a Johnny Depp movie. Yes, they did try to reboot it. Of course, it flopped.
Oh,
it was
not
a big thing. But the show, I'm aware of the show, and I'm I grew up chasing after all kinds of media. I always wanted to watch weird things and different things. I've never seen an episode of Dark Shadows. I know what it is, but I've never sought it out, or I've never come across it where I'm like, oh, let me watch an episode of this. But I know there's people out there that love it. So there you go.
That
it's really cool.
That cover looks great too. It doesn't look like there's any spine ticks or anything on there.
There's a couple. There's like 2 spine. I mean, look how black. This is like Spinal Tap's album. Look how black this cover is.
Crazy. It looks like great. 2 spine ticks,
and then there's like this this dog ear that actually doesn't break color.
I see. Yeah,
you press
it out, right?
You might press out. Mark, the poster is inside. So this famously comes with a giant poster of Barnabas Collins. The inside is beautiful, white pages. The poster is firmly attached, so it's a really great copy.
What year is it?
68.
Oh, wow. I was gonna guess 68.
Too bad you didn't have the opportunity because we don't believe you. I'm just kidding. All right, no, those are some great gets right there. I love that last book too. But the Frankenstein book with what's his face as Frankenstein,
Boris Karloff.
Yeah,
Karloff.
So cool. So cool. Look at that. That's outstanding. Yes, moving on. We got more Miles love. It's the summer of Miles, I feel like. With Marvel Man, this is another great freaking cover. Ultimate Invasion #1, the negative space variant featuring Miles Morales, cover art by John Tyler Christopher JTC. Guys, that is gorgeous. Look at that book. I'm not sick of these negative variants. I don't know about you guys, but
that one really stands out as a really good one.
Yeah,
because the red in his suit is pretty minimal. The suit is mostly black, and sometimes like the Wolverine one and stuff, it's the majority of his suit's yellow. This one I really like this one.
Absolutely, like the shadowing of the mask too gives it that almost his action figure kind of look to it as well. I really dig it though. That's great stuff right there, Marvel Man 616. I do like that the new Vision JTC negative space variant. That looks gorgeous as well. So yeah. All right, moving on. We have who do we have? Goonish Lurker. Excited to showcase my fresh from the comic shop pickup of the week. Red Room Crypto Killers #1 Youngblood homage cover by the master Jim Rugg, as well as the original Youngblood one by Rob Layfield as a pair. We stack them side by side, the covers over one another. It's nearly identical rendition. This was an absolute for my collection. Who else is reading Red Room? I'm not. I've heard of it. I'm not. I don't know about you two, but look at that cover. Outstanding.
I read the first issue. It's something. It's definitely something.
I don't think it's my cup of tea, to be honest. I don't think it's for everybody.
It's definitely not for everybody.
No. So, but you know what is for everybody? Your fresh gets. What do you got? Your first one.
Mine. All right. So yeah, this one's definitely for everyone. Specifically for video game
for the people.
Yeah, especially for the people. This was a really cool In the Wild find. Bought a collection from a guy, and this was in there. It was a guy just downsizing, which I get a lot of calls about that. People saying, "Hey, I don't need every comic that I have bought over the years. I'd like to keep some. I'd like to sell some." And this was in there.
Goodness. Hello.
This is The Legend of Zelda #1. This is a first printing of the book. And it's in rather decent shape. It's got some spine ticks. It's not 998 or anything like that, but VF range, first Zelda in comics, first Link in comics. I guess you could name all the characters. Ganondorf. But yeah, super sick. Very excited to have this. I already had a copy that is very low grade. I think the cover's detached on the one that I had. So this is probably just an upgrade for the personal collection.
I'll tell you what. The reason correct me if I'm wrong, the reason that's hot these days is because of how great Super Mario Brothers did, and they're thinking the next film property will be Zelda, right?
It's also like Zelda is widely considered to be universally considered to be one of the greatest video game franchises ever. A lot of people consider it to be the greatest, and it frequently, when they do like top video games of all times, there are 3 Zelda games that are frequently in the top few, sometimes in the top 1 between Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and A Link to the Past, which just happen to be my 3 favorite video games of all time. Other than Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
Yeah.
But that's
it's also crossed like so many generations, like I was playing Zelda when I was, in high school.
That gold cartridge.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get your AARP magazines now, so that's
just persisted and like so many,
It's got Zelda on the cover, right? Another good thing about that book that it's got going for it, there are a diehard, you have some really diehard Valiant comic fans, right? So Valiant got its start by, you can see the logo right there. Valiant got its start by licensing these Nintendo properties and publishing them before they started their own shared universe, which is really an unfortunate thing. How it was awesome, then it sucked, then it came back, it was awesome, and now it sucks. So really unfortunate about that. But yeah, that's another really cool thing. So that's a sought after book for many reasons.
Mark Leneker just asked about the price. This is one of the no price variants. I forgot to mention that. A lot of these Valiant books, at least as far as I'm concerned, I think it's all the Nintendo ones. So like the Game Boy one, Nintendo Super System, or Nintendo Super System, is that what it's called? I forget. And all the Mario ones, I'm pretty sure they all come with a no price variant, and they're a little bit more rare. I'm not sure if they were newsstands or not. I haven't really figured that out yet, but this is a first printing and it is a no price variant. So yeah,
that's really, really cool. Again, like that book. Good stuff. All right, moving on. We have, who's the biggest Thunderbolts fan we know?
Probably Jordan Norrie.
You got that right. And again, he does not disappoint with his Thunderbolts gets. Woo. This does look like most of my other posts. This does look like most of my other posts, but this actually includes some nice new additions to my Thunderbolts collection. Mark Leneker asked me a while ago if I had Hulk 449 newsstand. I didn't. So not to let one of my favorite collectors down, I started the search. I would have been happy with a raw copy, but they're expensive like I expected. I was able to pick up a CGC 9.6 that was half the price of others I had seen and only slightly more than raw copies. Probably as exciting for me was receiving my Thunderbolts 1 newsstand CGC 9.8, which replaced the one I sadly had to sell. This again completes my set of having all Thunderbolts #1s in a 9.8. Wow, congratulations. Finally, I picked up a Deadpool variant cover, 2 more #1 raw newsstands, and a direct copy. It was a good week for sure. Like, wow. Okay. Nori, you continue to impress, but Joe is not, I guess.
No, I was just going to mention, since we were talking Thunderbolts, this is actually my giveaway book for when I hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, which we're less than 100 away. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube yet, click down below, enter to win this book. First appearance.
Well, hell yeah. That's not a bad book to win either. Hey, did you guys know that there's a movie coming out? I don't know if you knew.
Yeah.
Do you have to jump in with the personal stuff? This is all about canon right now.
Oh my
God.
God.
You have to push your own YouTube. When people jump in and they just start pushing their own stuff. I think, I'm going to make a big topic about that next Sunday morning on the Sunday Comic Sermon with Pope of Chili Town on Instagram. Sunday mornings live Coffee and Comics chat. So,
I bet you somebody else has an opinion on that too. His name starts with a ch and ends with an et.
Uh-oh.
Chet. For sure. All right, we'll see about that. Moving on though, we have, who do we have? Raising Elm. This guy, this happens all the time with him, man. He is a finalist in June. He's going to go battle the 2 semifinalists we have for the second half. But he always outdoes himself every time. I know it's subjective, but here we go. Look at this. I mean, come on. Howdy, comic fans. The Father's Day weekend did not go according to plan. A huge storm rolled through Texas. East Texas knocked out the power for thousands of people, including us. We got displaced from our home for several days and stayed at a hotel, out of town for a few nights. This had to happen during some of the hottest days of the year, too. Even though we were annoyed by the situation, we decided to make the most of it and indulge a little bit. We ate at some fancy restaurants, we got to visit some friends and family from out of town, and we did a little shopping. More importantly, we got to spend time together as a family, and we were grateful to be safe after the storm. We did manage to hit up a comic shop, and I picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vs. Street Fighter #1. TMNT, The Last Ronin, Lost Years 1, Director's Cut, and TMNT 140. In the latter book, the Turtles renamed themselves the Splinter Clan in honor of their father. My wonderful wife, Randy, had gotten Eli and I matching pizza shirts for Father's Day, too. Take care, comic fan. See how it all ties in? It all ties in. So well done. So well done. I have something just happened here, guys. What's up, Can of Tears?
Ooh.
Into Oblivion. Did you just come up with a nickname for all of the audience members?
The Cannoneers.
Oh.
We may have to help out with that. You know, one person can actually can give his kind of thoughts on that as well. It's Jernos Comics. Do you see what's going on here, Chris?
What did I just jump into? I have no clue. Hello, everyone, by the way.
Look at what Into Oblivion. What's up, Can of Tears? Like, he came up with a nickname.
Nice.
I like that. Nobody's ever done that before.
I like that.
By the way, Raw Dog is here too. What's up, Raw Dog? What's up, Chris?
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, it's a very laid back, relaxed kind of show.
Yeah, I've seen your face on here for the first time.
Is that the first time?
Yeah. Well, with me being here.
Yeah.
By the way, also, hold on. Something else happened. Jernation.
All right.
Snap.
All right.
Jernation. Dan said, throw out Can of Tears or Cannonites. Wow.
Oh, we're the Cannoneers. You guys are the Cannonites.
And we, and even Into Oblivion's like, I like Cannonites better.
All right.
I mean, I guess we can go with this, guys. Mike, what do you say? It's up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll figure it out on our own. I don't
actually, this reminds me that something cool that Jim from Bronzeville Comics found recently in an old, I don't know if it was an old Overstreet or an old just comic magazine or something from like the 80s or whatever, but they refer to comic book collectors or readers as panelologists. And now he opens all his YouTube videos by saying, "What's up, panelologists?" And I love it.
That's fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
Christopher, so we're just doing the fresh from the comic shop. We're about halfway through. I don't know. Do you have a fresh get you want to share?
Oh, well, those are usually off camera. Yeah, I can share. I haven't shared first off because I wasn't buying any comic books, nothing. For myself or collections, but I picked up a nice few collections this last like week or so. So let's see. I could show something off here. Let's go with. Here we go. How about this one? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Giant Size Man Thing number 4. Joe, I'm sure you know isn't this the first solo story of Howard the Duck?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's that one. I forget which one. One of those, but great cover as well.
Yeah. Beautiful cover.
That is nice. That is really a nice cover too. Yeah. Absolutely. Listen, man. This is a surprise for all of us, by the way, but it's his show too. I love it. We're glad you're on. So we're just going to continue on, Chris. All right. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it indeed. Actually, I was going to go to Mike, your second fresh get of the week. What do you got?
Wait, hold on. Did you show yours, Jeff?
I said I don't have any.
Oh.
Remember?
I don't.
You don't pay attention to me. This is what we
You were in France. You
together.
couldn't possibly have comic books. They haven't arrived in France yet.
Listen, I'll tell you what. If I had time to if there was a comic book shop there, I didn't have enough time to step into one. That's how busy I was. I'm not saying I'm that important, but I am saying I'm important.
You didn't figure out where they were. Go ahead, Mike.
You didn't get the latest issue of the X Messieurs while you were there?
No, cute, but it's Cannes, France, people. They look down on these things. They got all those posh stores on that main street. It's like we're not going to deign down to the level of having a comic book shop here. Unfortunately, I don't agree with that. Mike, what do you have? Second fresh get of the week.
Second fresh get of the week is a book I kind of picked up not knowing much about. I got it really cheap on an auction. And I've been trying to dig into it a little bit and see like what the backstory is on it. And I think I kind of figured it out. So this is it's Batman Birth of the Demon, which you guys are familiar with. But the reason I picked it up was it was a special promotional copy,
Oh.
not for sale.
Oh.
Be there with a black and white cover. So what I think this is, I've looked into it a little bit, is when this first came out to stores, I think if you ordered like a certain amount or a case or something, it came with like a cardboard counter display, you know, like you would fold it together and it had like a topper, and then you put the graphic novels in that display on your counter. And in the box, they included this promotional copy for the store. So like the store would have one to kind of read and, you know, kind of like a gift for the store. It's not so much like, it wasn't meant to be like what we think of today as like a ratio variant or anything. It was just basically like, hey, read this and enjoy it. Thanks for selling it. So anyway, I just thought it was cool. You know, it doesn't seem to be like a super valuable thing, but it's just something, you know, this is the kind of thing that I just really enjoy finding, like just weird, you know, variants and just unusual stuff like this.
That's really cool. You got the Norm Brake. Am I pronouncing it right? Brakefoot art.
Yeah.
That's some good 90s.
My favorite Batman artist.
Yeah, he's fantastic. All right, moving on. We got Bobzilla. Love this name. And again, it's the summer of Miles. Where are you, Bobzilla? Where are you, Bobzilla? I know I pulled you in. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. Here we go.
Holding.
Here we go. Bobzilla. Miles has so much potential. We love you, Bobzilla, but I feel like that's saying grass is green at this point. Yes, he does. Has everyone seen the new movie yet? What did you think? Did you love it? Are you a Miles hater? Guys, I don't know many Miles haters. I love the movie. Your thoughts on that specific question?
Phenomenal movie. I don't want to say this for sure before I see it again, but I think it was better than the first. That was my initial reaction. I had to watch it again to make sure, but phenomenal.
Mike.
Loved it. I mean, I would have to watch both again. I haven't watched the first one since it was probably in theaters. Yeah, it was one of the best, like, you know, it's long first time in a long time I walked out of movie theater just like 100% satisfied and just really enjoyed the ride. It was great.
Christopher.
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was great. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until it comes out to stream, and then I'm gonna watch the first and in that one together too. And then compare them. But you know, one thing that I've been doing too. This is such a cultural phenomenon. I've been listening. I've been stuck on the soundtrack, man. I mean, that soundtrack is just so Metro Boomin, man, doing his thing. But
everything is they got so many deep cuts within the film. It's like fantastic. And by the way, there are 2 different versions out there, which is absolutely crazy. People have started noticing that. Thank you, Bond. Paul Bond. Well done, Joe. That was good. Moving on. We got good friend of the show, Mark Leniker. The silver lining to the comics crash of the mid-90s was the age of Marvel DC crossovers. Economics makes strange bedfellows, to paraphrase Shakespeare. From 1994 to 2003, we had a plethora of fan service. Spider-Man, Batman, Disordered Minds by DeMatteis and Bagley had the 2 heroes up against Carnage and the Joker. Had this been done today, it would have been an epic, violent miniseries with 400 covers, but this one-shot is oddly perfunctory. We didn't even get to see the Carnage symbiote bond with the Joker. That's so well done. Like, this is the 3rd time I think we've seen this book, which is crazy, in a matter of a couple months. I really like how Mark filled in the context behind it. But he's right. We would absolutely have had a Joker Carnage symbiote. Nobody's.
I love, like, that was when I was starting to collect comics, like the Amalgam books and DC vs. Marvel and that Batman book. I had like all of those as a kid. So that's like super nostalgic for me. And yeah, I love that book.
And it was a perilous time for comic book publishers then. You know what I mean? Everything was just,
oh yeah.
Oh wait, you're not going to buy every single cover we send out, even though we print out over 1 million copies, et cetera, et cetera. No. It's not gonna happen. Anyways,
It's funny you talk about doing a Joker Venom symbiote. In my head, immediately was like, I kind of pictured it in my head, and the image I got was basically Batman who laughs.
Yeah.
It's almost like they've kind of done it.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to catch up on something anyways. I don't know what that was. Anyways, Joseph, your second freshman of the week. What do you got?
Yeah, so I didn't even do this on purpose, but I bought 3 collections this week, and they were all vastly different. And I took one thing from each of them. So the Zelda book was first. This one, a little bit more mainstream here. Speaking of mainstream, it is the first appearance of a character in mainstream continuity, but it's a book that I've never owned, never found it in a collection, despite buying tons of stuff, 90s collections all the time. This is Batman Harley Quinn, which is a one-shot story, and it is the first appearance of Harley in DC continuity. Prior to this, she appears either 2 or 3 times in the animated series comic universe. In issue 12, and then in Mad Love, and I think this would actually be her 3rd overall appearance, and first in DC continuity. And man, this book looks so cool. Alex Ross cover, all black background, and it's square bound as well, so it's got that nice like sturdy feel to it. This one might have to go up to CGC because I think this is pretty gosh darn high grade.
Are you keeping it?
What's that?
Are you going to keep it, you think? Or
I don't know. If it gets a 9.8, yes. If I do send it and it gets a 9.8, that's a keeper for me. For modern books, I'm a little stingy on what I keep. I want 9.8s if I'm going to have them graded. And I already have a trade paperback version of that, so I already have a reader copy. So yeah, it's going to depend on the grade.
There's definitely at least, I want to say 4 to 5 animated appearances before you get to that book. So it's definitely not, I know it's not her 3rd overall.
Yeah.
It could be like her 5th overall. Something like that. It's still a great book.
It's a great, absolutely. That Alex Ross cover is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely incredible. So good pickup right there. You know who else has good pickups? Speaking of Bond, Paul Bond.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thanks, man. I thought we're usually on the same page. We have Brixton and Company LLC. That's Paul Bond, by the way. My PC goal is slowly getting there. I do the side hustle of selling comics to fuel my PC, and today I added 2 huge books, Batman 23 and Batman 25. Both are detached covers, but present extremely well. My goal is to get every Batman cover with Joker on it from issue 100 and under. Only 6 left, and holding on onto the Golden Age ones I picked up in collections along the way. Not too common and not exactly cheap, so it's a slow grind picking them up. Happy to have added these, though. Those are some, I mean, that is a very nice pickup right there, Paul. Very nice indeed. So what we're going to do, Mike, is your last fresh, or their 3rd fresh get of the week.
All right.
What do you got?
So this is the book I picked up a couple times. I try to grab it whenever I can. I feel like, I don't run across it super, super often in the wild. Like, it's kind of a key that is can be a little bit elusive. But I got this on an auction site. So this is Daredevil 111.
Yeah.
First appearance of Silver Samurai, and a very different look there on the cover. Okay.
Oh, I know what's going on with this.
So this is I got this in earlier this week, and it's like when you buy from auction sites, the problem is, and I did a whole episode of this on my chat show, but you got to be a real degen to go to these sites. I'm not talking about eBay. I'm talking about like these clearinghouse sites where like different like local auction houses can sell, And the problem is that they don't put up a lot of good pictures. You maybe get one picture sometimes, and you really have to kind of roll the dice and gamble. Now this didn't end up being that much of a gamble because I only ended up paying $12.50
Nice.
for this book. So that was great. I was like, oh man, I can't believe I won that for $12.50. And when I came in, I looked at it, I was like, it's a little lower grade than I expected, based on the pictures and stuff. And it kind of like sat on my table. And then today I was putting some books away, so I go, let me rebag that and put it away. And what did I find?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Which I had, there was no picture of this in the ad. I didn't even know this book had a jeweler's variant. Obviously, you're kind of trained to look for that, that barcode. And then when you see the barcode, that kind of triggers your brain to go and look for the jewelers. So this is, pre-barcode. But I pulled it, it's like this funny, you pull it out of the bag and there's that moment where you're like, ooh, you feel it, you're like, this book isn't like, it's not holding in my hand the way other books do.
That's so cool.
Yep. Sure enough. So this I think is a kind of a rare one. I can't find a ton of sales data. There are a couple listed on eBay right now. One is like a 7.0 and one is a higher grade raw. But I can't find any completed sales data on Mark Jewelers for this. So this was a great little bonus on an already great pickup.
Yeah, that's a cool character too. Silver Samurai. Absolutely. That's such a nice story. And again, that feeling you have, you're like, wait a minute. Imagine if you never looked at it. You know what I mean? So fantastic. Good stuff. Absolutely. Matt Stadge is in the house. We haven't seen you for a while. It's good to see you again. Sir, cheers to you. All right. Moving on. We have Into Oblivion with, I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks ago, Into Oblivion sent us I think it was the first appearance of Plastic Man in a DC book. Is that? Yeah. So here's another Plastic Man. House of Mystery 160. Mm-hmm. First appearance of Plastic Man in the Silver Age. Robbie Reed uses the Dial H for Hero device to transform into Plastic Man. So I guess the book he submitted for Fresh from the Comic Shop a few weeks ago was the first Golden Age appearance of Plastic Man. Maybe I don't recall.
First solo series, he said in the chat.
That's what it was. Okay. That was awesome. So it's good to see this as well. Plastic Man is a very unique character for sure. I don't know if you all remember this, Mike. Especially there was a Plastic Man cartoon show in the 80s.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So that was my introduction to Plastic Man. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was not alive.
It was really bad 80s kind of cartoon, but I watched it every Saturday morning cartoons, people. Was absolutely fantastic.
It's so sad there's no way to see things that existed before you were alive.
No, I know.
I wish we could change that somehow.
So weird. Yeah.
Listen.
You can only put the image in your head by the words coming out of our mouths, I guess, right?
That's what I do.
Plastic Man animated.
Yep, I'm viewing it in my brain cells.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job. That's the only way. And what would your third fresh get be, kind sir?
All right, this is a weird one. This is definitely one of the weirdest books that I have found, and I got to do a little bit of research on it. It is a mini-sized book. It is clearly a parody. This is called Thanos and Darkseid, Carpool Buddies of Doom.
Oh my god!
No, that cover's outstanding.
It is, and it's hard to see because it's actually signed in pencil, but it is signed right down there by I believe he's both the writer and the artist. I did a little bit of research, and I wish I knew it off the top of my head so I could tell you. But I did look this book up, and recent sales have been over $100.
Wow. Where'd you find this again?
This was in a random collection. Basically, a guy contacted me and said, hey, I've always been a comic book reader, didn't really collect or care about the value of things. I just have all these comics. Some of them I got, off the shelf. Some of them I bought at flea markets and yard sales over the years. And I just have so many, and I'm moving to South Carolina and I just want to get rid of them. And I went over, and it was so much 90s bulk. That was almost, I saw a couple good books here and there. But fortunately, he was just trying to move it before he moved, and it didn't cost me too much. So I just took it all. And this was probably the coolest find in here. And check it out the back, because it's Thanos and Darkseid, Carpool Buddies of Doom. And I was like, that's such a weird name. And it's actually turns out they're referring to Dr. Doom, who's sitting in the back seat of this car.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Yes.
That would win probably if you were submitting and you weren't a host on the canon. That would win as a unique book alone, just standalone as a unique. It's so cool.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I just opened it up on the inside. This was a New York Comic Con 2013 giveaway.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it looks like Justin Jordan is the writer, and Rafer Roberts did the art.
That is so cool. Very cool. That's a really cool pickup. Definitely unique. All right. So our final fresh get of the week is from good friend of the show, Josh's Comics. Super DC Giant number 24 from 1971. First cover appearance of General Zod. My fresh from the comic shop is this great looking book. General Zod was first introduced in 1961. 10 years later, he made his first cover appearance. P.S. This might be a week late when viewed on the canon, but happy Father's Day to everyone. Thank you. That's a good pickup. Josh has been picking up some nice DC Silver Age here. So good on you, sir. All right, so here's the deal, Mike. We brought you on because we want to promote your Sunday sermons, and that's the only reason. Oh, but wait, it's not. We want you to choose a semifinalist for July. This is July right here. From Fresh from the Comic Shop. Now, while that happens, Christopher will be showing off a fresh get, maybe two. I don't know. But what do you got, Chris?
Yeah, well, let's see. So this is from a collection I picked up yesterday. Joe, I know I'm still dwarfed in your shadow here, but just watching you picking up your collections, you're putting the flame under my butt.
There we go.
So I'm getting there. This was really cool because it's a cool book, but this book is so immaculate. For those that know me, when I price this to sell, I'm selling it, and I hardly ever will price or will grade a book above near mint. Near mint meaning 9.4 ish. I will never say or hardly ever say I think it's above that. This book is so clean. I did put near mint plus. I do feel that confident. This is Wolverine number 10. The first Wolverine, Sabretooth and Wolverine title. I know it's in the bag and it's white, but the white, even with the white cover, it's just, this thing was flawless. And I just think, I don't know. It's so.
That's a beautiful book.
Yeah, it was in an old polyethylene bag, not even with the backing board on it. And it was still that clean. So really cool. I could show
good stuff. That book has gained a lot in popularity over the past 5 years.
Yeah. I'll tell you, that book is very hard to get in a 9.8 from personal experience of both myself and Mike. I sent one in a few months ago that I was like, this is a 9.8, 100% a 9.8, and it came back a 9.6. And then Mike, yours came back, what, a 9.4 recently?
Yeah.
That is
crazy.
I don't know if it is production issues or it's just hard to see damage on the white, and the CGC is able to catch it, and us peasants are not. But that is a tough book to get a 9.8 on.
All right. Yeah. Man, now you got me thinking if I might want to. I don't know, but then there's the issue. Something's going on with grade values right now, and that's a whole other story though. But let's see. I did have one book that I was interested in showing, but I can't find it right now, so I'll just show these right here. In the collection I picked up yesterday too. I didn't even know this guy had stuff listed out, and I didn't even know these were in there. But some pretty near mint copies too. 2 copies of First appearance
nice.
of Angela. So that was cool.
That character is so interesting. Again, from Image, aka the Spawn universe, into Marvel. It blows my mind that happened. But she's part of Marvel, so yeah. Let's check in with Mike. What are you thinking, man? Do you have 3 that interest you?
I have exactly 3 that I flagged.
Okay.
As you know, I'm a veteran and a professional of the Canonites. I was keeping track as we went.
Good work, as we expect from you. But it's like we're trying to congratulate you for doing the job you were asked to do. But it's okay. Yeah, congratulations.
Well, I like to be thanked. So the top three I noted were I thought just that the collection that Paul's putting together, the Joker covers, is just a joy to see, and just all those sort of different takes on Joker, and I mean such a rough collection to put together. So congratulations on that for sure. I thought the Raising Elms was just fun. Good picture. The whole pizza thing is amazing. There was also a little story there too with the trip and some of the stuff that happened on the trip. So we love the bonus content on the stories. And my last one was Jordan's Thunderbolts. I love the I love when people have a mission, and so curating that particular collection, and like I want to get them in newsstands, and I want to get like every version and multiple copies, and get 9/8 of all the number ones, and so I love that kind of vision of this is what I want, and this is what I'm going after, and I'm not going to get just one, I'm going to get two, and all that good stuff. So those are my tippy top three.
Okay, those are good. The good three right there for sure. Now you need to pick one from that group. Joe has an algorithm computer in his basement head.
Yeah, I already ran it through, and I know what Mike's picking.
Me too. No, you told me on the side. So what do you got, Mike?
How many dollar bins did you have to step over to get to that computer?
A lot of dollar bins.
There's okay. I have my pick, and it's just a pick. I just want you. There's no science behind this. Normally, I check some boxes, but there was honestly, I don't know why, but this is the one that I just said. There's something about this I just really enjoy, and that was Jordan's. So that was my pick.
Nori Jordan moving on to the semifinals. Well done, Mike, aka Pope of Chili Town. Nori, you're going to be going up against next week's semifinalist. We'll have this week.
Oh yes, never mind.
Yeah, this week's finalist will be battling, and then we'll have the finals on Friday, I do believe. Mike, you do the Sunday sermon on the Instagrams, Pope of Chili Town, but you got to put the dots in there, pope.of.chili.town. But you do an excellent job just talking about a variety of topics throughout the community. You want to just give us a quick update on how it's going, or anything you want to promote with that?
Well, I'll going good. I mean, I'll just, like it's, I usually post the night before what time I'm going to do it and if I'm going to do it. And so you can, it's usually pretty random. And, I got to go hunting. It's hunting season right now. So I got to go in the morning and hit the fleas most of the time. So I've been pushing them a little bit later, like 11:30, 12 Eastern. Today was a good one. I got a lot of good feedback on it from people. Even afterwards, people chatted me and were like, "Oh man, that was really interesting," and everything. So you can go to my wall and go to the videos and you can sort by Sunday Comic Sermon, and they'll all pop up. But today's was about that we need more ages. That the modern age is too long. 30 years of the modern age is too long. And I threw my hat in the ring and gave us a new age to cover 1991 to 2000. And I sort of break down the reasoning behind it and sort of the key signposts along the way and what defines that age. So that's what today's episode was about, and seemed to be pretty well received. So thanks to everyone who chatted me about it. And it's like I love giving a little bit of history, and there's a little bit of comic book history in there as well and stuff like that. So a good one to check out if you've never seen any of them before.
That's well done. That's a great topic, y'all. I don't know if you mind sharing that name, or should they go to check out the sermon?
No, I don't care. Basically it was I say that the modern age, everyone agrees, begins in 1991 with X-Men #1, Jim Lee's X-Men #1. And so I should say that's the end of the Copper Age, and then we're modern for the next up until today. Basically, I sort of break down some sales data and some things happening in books and stories and stuff like that. And what I concluded was that once you hit Ultimate Spider-Man #1 in the year 2000, that's sort of that's the shift. So from X-Men #1 to Ultimate Spider-Man #1 now becomes a new age, which I coin the foil age.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Yeah. So obviously the obvious connection of all the 90s gimmick foil covers, so I wanted to keep it sort of metallic. I know foil is cheap, but those books were really high printed. So they're as common as foil in a lot of them. If we want to call it the aluminum age, you're welcome to. I just think the foil age fits for a lot of different reasons.
Definitely. Well, that's good work. Everybody check out Pope of Chillytown Sunday sermon. You may want to check in the night before if he's going to be doing that or not. But Mike, really glad to have you on the show tonight. Again, we wanted this to be an abbreviated version. Chris, you surprised us all for making it onto the canon.
Yeah, well, a few things for that. One, trying to cook dinner early. I got that done.
Nice.
Made that happen. And then another factor was I was really tripping trying to. I was thinking I was going to do another claim sale. So I was do that tonight, but I'm pushing that off till tomorrow. But then, quite honestly, what really pushed me to get everything done that I needed was how do I even say this? Oh, just the same old stuff that goes on in this community that isn't very savory. So I was going to do a live stream on my channel on Friday. I wasn't able to, so I said I owe it to myself to come and be a part of the savory part of this community with you guys, because like I said, for everyone watching, I tried to bail out, but I sent him voice message saying I miss you.
It wasn't bailing out. It was it wasn't bailing out.
Oh yeah, but I was telling you how much I missed you, and how much I was Wolverine looking at your pictures, just but so no. So I said I gotta come, I gotta be a part of this, and I gotta be reminded of why we do this. But I am now, once we end here, I'm going to go on my channel and do a little live stream because I need to get some stuff off of my chest. But
well, there you go. We should have promoted that with the freaking link.
Oh, well, you guys, you know where to find me.
Well, all right. After this show, go hit up Jernos and another live production. I do want to make that. No, unfortunately, he has not retired. It's just today we omitted him from the show.
He's on vacation.
Yeah.
In Guam.
It's legally, we are not bound to have him in an abbreviated show. That was put in by our lawyers representing the three of us. So this is an abbreviated show because we're ending right now or soon. But if it's anywhere past an hour 15, then we have to have him in the show. All right. So I hope that answered that question. All right. Well, listen, we're back. I'm very grateful for all y'all. I love all y'all. I know the feelings are mutual with the three of you. And we're going to have another show next week. I'm a little fried. So, Joe, why don't you do the outro? It's really
Yeah. I do want to mention something real quick.
Yeah.
3 weeks from yesterday, which is July 15th, Paul Bond. I said it wrong. Paul Bond. Wow, I really messed that one up.
Nice.
He actually sets up. He has a little booth at a flea market, and that flea market also has a big indoor space, almost like a community center kind of thing. And he asked them to rent out the room for a comic show. So on July 15th, he is putting that together. Mike and I will both be vendors there, as well as Paul himself, as well as James from Mint Hunter Comics, and some other Philadelphia, South Jersey area comic book retailers. So if you are within driving distance of Reniger's Flea and Farmers Market, which is in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, come hang out. And then in addition to that, I'll be announcing very soon the date of the next Back Deck Comic Fest. We've only had one so far this year due to weather, and I'd like to get 2 more in before it gets too cold again. So we got to have a hot one during the summer and then one during the fall. But stay tuned for that. Does anyone, Mike, Chris, do either of you have anything to say?
I am so sick and tired of you East Coasters, man. I really am. Like, dude, you guys are like 5 states away from each other, but you drive an hour and you're hanging out on the weekends. I'm tired of this, man. I drive for 8 hours and I'm still in California, and
Chris,
I'm all alone. I'm lonely.
Chris, I came out there last year. Yeah. It's your turn to come out here this year.
Truth. Chris, I got a big couch. You can sleep on that. It's big.
It's large. It's nice.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that there ends this episode of Comic Book Canon, an invitation on Joe's couch. We'll be back next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific on Sundays. Until then, I'm just going to tell you all to be good to yourself and good to others. Peace.